Hello, and welcome to another live stream. My second, I believe, that I've ever done. This time with a shiny new mic, literally shiny because it has a flashy RGB ring. So I'm upping my production value significantly. All for you, sitting there watching along, even though the metrics say you're not. It's all for you. Today is a way more exciting stream than the last one. The last one, I think I was trying to add dark mode to my website, and I failed horribly. I got a toggle in there to add dark mode. It took me about 3 hours, and in that time I'd hoped to do incredibly flashy things of slick transitions, edging between light and dark mode, and that just didn't amount. We'll come back to that someday. But for now, I'm actually going to update the stream title to reflect how much more exciting this stream actually should be. So give me 1 second because I completely forgot to do that. Sketch for okay, it's updated, and let's see, will YouTube let me edit the stream? Nope, they're not sound. But hopefully the Twitch stream title is updated. Just checking that. Yep, making an Etch-A-Sketch. So I think I briefly mentioned this on the last stream, that's basically where I want to go with the next few streams, the first big deliverable that I want out of the website. And I'm going to start looking at the camera instead of looking at my monitor. Something that I've been working on, I'm going to turn down the music slightly as well because it's coming in a bit aggressive. Something I want to start working towards actually achieving is having an Etch-A-Sketch on my website with code that anyone can use because it's part of the LocalBoast library, and it's going to be interactable through Twitch chat. So to show where we are with it currently, with what we've got working so far. So on my website, localboast.com/Twitch, currently this is the UI, this is what we got going. So if I log out, we can authenticate with Twitch, pops up a little login window. So now we're logged in. I can type in any channel name I want. It's defaulting to my own channel, so I'm joining at that. And now my bot is live, running against this Twitch chat. So if I type a message into chat, test chat for bot, pops up on Twitch chat, but also my bot sees it. And this isn't some sort of like funky server running in the cloud that has to be awkwardly configured for anyone. It's just a browser-based thing. It's a React hook that's allowing this to happen. Purely just passing it the bot ID is the only extra bit that's needed. So anyone could drag and drop this functionality into their website. So that's where I'm going with this. So what I want to now do, the plan that I've got the bot running in the browser that can listen to Twitch chat. I want to make it fun now. So the plan, bring you over to Krita. Yeah. So the plan for today is I got this asset. this is the image of an Etch-A-Sketch. And what I've done is I've meticulously chopped this up into the individual components, as you can see here. It's beautiful, right? I've chopped it up, and what I'm going to do with it is be able to dynamically patch these together in the browser, resize them, what have you, to look like this. Or preferably something a bit prettier than this, maybe something like this. Looks just like the first image, right? But the idea here is that, as you can see, actually it's hidden behind chat, but these are all the different individual elements that make up the Etch-A-Sketch, and these are dynamically resizable. So what I'm gonna do today is copy these elements over into my website, into the HTML, wrap them in a nice grid, be able to dynamically resize. And so that Twitch auth UI you've just seen, basically this page is going to be rendering that Etch-A-Sketch modal, Etch-A-Sketch view. And in the middle of it, there's going to be that authentication step. There's going to be selecting which Twitch channel to be monitoring. And once you're in, then you've actually got a game that can be played. Twitch are going to be able to say up, down, left, right, and the Etch-A-Sketch will reflect that. We'll actually be drawing it onto the Etch-A-Sketch in this little middle segment, which my plan currently is that it's going to be an SVG. Yeah, I haven't actually tested how well this is going to work, but the plan is just for that middle segment to be an SVG, and just every time someone puts a message like up, down, left, right, we're just going to extend the path of the SVG in that direction. Sorry, just reading first time chat. Sorry for bothering you. Want to offer promotion for your channel? The price is lower than any competitor. I'm good, thank you. I don't want to be too harsh, but no thanks. I don't want to get any paid stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for upping my metrics, but yeah, not interested in buying any views, followers, all that. Yeah. If you are an actual viewer, hopefully you stick around for a bit and read or watch along with me. But if not, no harm, no foul. So yeah, this is the plan moving forward. We've got the authentication piece. We've actually got the bot functionality. Now I just want to make a nice resizable thing that a user could just have it open in a browser, or they could open it up in OBS as like a browser overlay, which is something that I might try to do, so that if I go on like a break, I can stick, a browser overlay that will show this Etch-A-Sketch panel, and my Twitch chat will be able to interact with it. And by being on my website, anyone could do it with their own chat or add it to their own website. So yeah, that's my plan for today. Let's get going. Just gonna hydrate. Okay, so let's go over to the code. Cool. So I'm gonna clear that chat, and so basically all of these different steps are rendering as their own component. So I've got the auth step, the join step, the load step, and the play step. So for this, I think I can just wrap it all in a single element that's going to be this container. So I'm not going to worry too much about how it all fits together. Basically for now, I'm just going to wrap this all in a container element that I haven't even made yet. So I'm just going to call it panel for now. It's a bad name, way too generic, but we can rename it down the line if we need to. So panel, going to make a new folder called panel. Just do the basic setup steps here. I went over my reasoning for my folder structure stuff last time. Probably something that I'll feel the need to justify a bunch of times. Why I've got, like, if I'm making a component called panel, I don't just say new file called panel.tsx. I make a folder with a panel.tsx file in it and an index file. I don't know if that's that common practice, But yeah, I learned to do that from coworkers at my last job, and I'm fully on board with it now. So just mindlessly setting up this panel component. I don't think right now that it'll need any props other than children. So props, react.props with children. And then it's just gonna return, for now, let's just call it let's just say div that contains children. And then we'll think about how to style this up later. So basically the children, so the play step is the one that's actually going to be having the SVG. So I don't think the panel needs to worry too much about what the content of the actual panel, of the actual play step is. So it's really just going to focus on the images on all around it. So I think this could even just be the grid component. So last time I was doing this, I got, I installed Mantine UI as the UI library for LocalBoast. And I know that has a thing called group and maybe even a grid component that wraps CSS grids. So I'm going to see if there's a way to, I think there might be a way to extend the grid template columns definition for that. So it's called grid. How does the API for this work? It might actually be more difficult than it's worth. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna do just straight up CSS. So div style. Actually, no. Gonna declare class name. So I don't think anyone is lurking in chat, but if there is, please feel free to ask questions at any point, or even just say hi. Panel, yeah, panel grid, display grid, grid template columns. Actually, I've never actually done a two-dimensional grid definition. I was thinking you could do grid template columns and grid template rows, but there might be a way to do it at once. CSS grid. Yeah, I'm very much sticking true to the philosophy that programming is like 90% just Googling answers. That's the main skill I feel I took away from 4 years of computer science in university was just how to efficiently Google, how to sift through all the information and just pull out the stuff you need. Okay. So this here seems to be... Okay, so they are declaring it together like this, but I have no idea what this notation is. The first and line 2. I think you can just declare the two of them, grid template rows and grid template columns. And I'll just see if that works. So the corners, we want them to just be the size they are. So I'm going to let them be auto, and the rest is going to be the center middle, the center column and the center row are going to be 1F4. So I think it should be as simple as that. In my experience, grids are never as simple as you hope they will be. I'll probably have to tweak the height and width settings. Yeah, we want it to fill the page, right? So I'm gonna set it to width 100, height 100, and I might need to change what container is around it for now, but let's see. Import styles from /styles stick the class name we just created on there. Styles.panel grid. So it doesn't like that I'm using the name styles. Classes. Okay. Nope. It's even saying that that's deprecated. Use import style from style.sass. I did this like 2 days ago and it wasn't complaining then. Sass inline. Oh, we are learning something today. Does this work? Styles.panel grid. Nope, because that's coming in as a string. Styles.module. This shouldn't be called modules, right? It should be module. Is that what's wrong? Styles. Yep, that was what's wrong. Love a good typo early in a day. Since it's not that visually interesting, let's go to the bigger cam for now. Get a bit more intimate with this. Also, crank this music up because it's not filling the dead air nearly enough. Sorry, I was just reading there was like an old chat message from, I don't know if it's a bot or just a person paid to promote their bot or their, I don't know. I won't even say the name of the website. It's probably in the chat history somewhere, but yeah, it's just, hopefully there aren't that many people going in and going along with that, you know, starting streaming and seeing, oh, you can pay your way to success and just doing that. We've gotten completely distracted. Okay. Got children. So children, we want it to be the 5th child, right? So now we just got a load of SVGs, which we've got over here. Not SVGs, PNGs. Apologies. So how was I doing that before? Import TL segment image from dot assets TL. Does this work? That should hopefully get me the path to that image. So let's just see if that works. Source is that. How do you do? Is it roll presentation? Just to get rid of any warnings about not having an alt. Now it can't find. Oh yeah, props. Props.children. Let's just see if that actually renders anything. Does it? Oh, I didn't save this. Ah. Panel. Yeah, I really need to give it a less generic name. Cool. That has loaded. Awesome. So I just got to do that 7 more times. So we got TL, TM, TOR, BL. Did I export TL and TOR as the same thing? They are the same image. Yeah. So I don't need TOR. Silly. Okay. You got the top left, the top middle. I gotta go to Krita for this. Okay. Where was I? Hide this group. So we got this piece. You've got Bottom right and bottom left are the exact same. Cool. Top left and top right are the exact same. Cool. So in terms of distinct pieces, we've got the top right, the top middle, the middle right, and I think we can get rid of that as well. So I think these are all distinct pieces. Yep. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So we don't need any. I should probably stick with the left side, right? Although, yeah, I think I did the opposite. I made things harder for myself by exporting a right side middle piece. So, okay, we'll stick with importing all the right stuff. TR segment from TR, TM, M or BM, B or. I think that's what I should have called them. Hopefully it is. BM, M or TM. Okay. Oh, this is not going to work, but let's just cross our fingers. TR. This should also be TR, but this one I'll need to flip it. Deal with that in a second. And gotta do M or and flip that one as well. Then we're going the other side of children with M or B or, which will have to be flipped. BM and then B or, which will not have to be flipped. Cool. Reverse, segment. I'll stick them to just 100 width for now. Segment. Use flex some SAS skills. And inverse. Transform. Scale -1. 1. Is that how that works? We will both find out at the same time. So all of these, except for props, I'll fix that in a sec. Oh. Class name is styles.segment. I keep doing that. And copy this over to these ones. And then, so what ones do I want to reverse? Segment. It's this guy. CX. Oh. CX being a thing that I've imported from LocalBoast as just a way to join class names together. I can explain how that works if needs be. So styles.segment and styles.segment inverse. I should go underscore so as to not mess that markup. So which ones need to be reversed? We got top left, middle left, and bottom left. So this is just gonna work perfectly. Classic. Okay. So which one is undefined? So quick to run into bugs. Okay, panel 13. Oh, the very first one. T or segment image is undefined. Assets.tr. Did I not? Yep, that exists. Interesting. So what did I do different from this one? Because it worked when it was TL, right? No, so wait, what's it saying is undefined? Can convert undefined to object. Is it the use of CX that's messing me up? Class name is this. So is it saying that this is coming in undefined? Segment inverse. Yeah, I think, am I messing up my sass? I think that's what's happening. If I change this to dot segment, segment inverse, error go away. No. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. And it all loads in real slowly. Okay, I might need to look at preloading those. But anyway, okay, so it was my sass that was messing it up. I thought that's how that worked. And inverse. Quick little adventure to find that out. Sass combine classes. And dot. Oh, you don't do the dot. Is that it? Okay. Such a small mistake. Okay. Cool. So why is the style breaking still though? Is it that children's multiple things? Okay, so I just need to wrap children. Cool. Stick that. Just screw it in a div. Did it work? Okay, so the grid layout is working, but the images aren't expanding to fill. That makes sense. Okay, because I haven't set that to happen. Perfect. Okay, so now just some logic for what? And side piece. No jokes. If it's a side piece, height should be 100. And if it's a... It's the opposite of side. No, but like something that's the top or the bottom. Because, you know, side could be left and right. As in, like, if I've got four things. So you've got a piece at the top, a piece at the bottom, a piece at the left, and a piece at the right. I'm calling the things at the left and the right, I'm calling them both side pieces. What can I call the top and bottom? It's not great. Top, bottom pieces. See, they're all edges, though. If it's naming is important, sort of. It's about me understanding it. I'm calling them side pieces because I know that that means left or right. So I'm calling the other one top bottom pieces with 100%. I have no idea if Rosie's voice came through on the mic at all there. It might just seem like I was screaming at nothing. You're not nothing, sweetie. Okay. See if that logic makes any sense, if that actually fixes it. So, top middle, we want to give this one, and bottom middle, giving them both the combined class. Oh, what am I doing? Over there. CX that, and styles dot segment top bottom piece. Yeah, that makes sense. And the left and the right, where are those? They're over here. So we want styles dot segment side piece. Okay, and I need to apply that to the right side as well. So he's over here. CX segment styles dot. Yeah, great job. Oh, it's beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, fuck, it's Etch-A-Sketch. You take one look at that and think Etch-A-Sketch. I think it's time for me to turn the music up because I'm speaking absolute nonsense. Okay, what did I do wrong? Width 100, height 100%. What was wrong about that? Top and bottom pieces should be 100%. Okay, I'm just going to debug it one bit at a time. Oh, so by only setting one dimension, they're scaling automatically, right? So height, auto, no, height 100. Segments should be height and width 100, right? So they all have to be 100%, 100 pixels wide. Some of the pieces need to be a bit taller. So, okay, let's say, and bottom. Actually, yeah, so not even all the edge pieces have the same dimensions either. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. Every piece is just width 100 and height. Screw it. Why am I defining that in this? Instead of having these be auto, these should be 100. 100 pixels should be the grid specifying that. And then I don't need to worry. The bottom row is not 100 pixels though, right? Might need to, so I'll need to scale these down the line. Pick the columns are 130. This is 130 pixels. The bottom one is 170 tall, I believe. Now what's undefined to object? What? Okay, what class name does not exist? Panel segment and segment inverse don't exist. So the class name just doesn't exist unless you specify something about it, which is frustrating. Height 100%, width 100%. Hey! Awesome. Yeah, it started working. I didn't expect it to start working, sweetie. Hey!
Hey, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare it start working? I wasn't ready for it to be done already. I'm not talking to you. Awesome. Okay, let's test how broken this can get. I don't even need these anymore now. Yeah, because they were just there to make the things go 100%, but that's on every piece now. So top bottom piece can go away. Where was that one? Down here. Just a little bit of fun code cleanup. Okay, and now the side pieces. Don't need that class neither. Was it this one? Aha, so that still does need CX. Okay. Side piece. Cool, so no longer need those classes. And now we've just got a fully adaptive, fully responsive Etch-A-Sketch panel. Awesome. I'll get my ugly mug out of the way. Okay. Okay, well, so the children aren't set to be able to resize. Screw it. I'm not even going to bother overriding that middle piece to have overflow. We're going to customize that actual play element real soon. For now, would you look at it? And so that's just there. And it doesn't even look like really uglily stretched. Like, if you're looking for it, you can see that that's a stretch texture going across. But I mean, like, it's pretty good for what is effectively like 20 pixels of an actual image being stretched to several hundred. And oh, it's lovely. Okay. Oh, one last thing that I forgot to do. Gotta overlay some actual buttons. It's not an Etch-A-Sketch panel unless it has the little buttons. So where are they gonna go? They will sit inside of... Yeah, I'll just pair them to the bottom left and right corners. So what I'll do is wrap each of these in divs. Last name. Styles dot bottom corner wrapper. And inside each of these, I need the button asset. I'm actually going to make that its own component for now because we are going to want to be able to spin those. Components. New folder. Knob. Lol. File. Knob.tsx. File index.tsx. Nope, just index.ts. I forgot to do that step over here, didn't I? Yeah. Export default from /panel. And then where's that importing? Got to change this import. Panel. Yeah, so instead of having to import panel from /panel, now it can just import from the panel folder. So that's why I do that. Why should I move these assets around? There's no point having them all the way up there. Right? So, folder. Screw it. I'll just drag it in. Assets are going into panel. And I'm going to rename all these. Oh, that music's going loud. These stream beats are handy to have, but my god, the volume of some of them are really inconsistent. You got to be adjusting it constantly. Cool. There's my assets. Do I even have the knob asset in there? Screw it. Okay. Move the assets back up one level. One level. Just a bit of inconsistency. Can't fault the guy too bad for that. Wheel. Okay. There she is. So I'll bring this over. Const knob equals do all the boring React stuff. Export default knob and stick that in there. Knob image. And for now, it can literally just be this, I think. I will need to put a class on it. Just so that it adheres to the layout, so that it's absolutely positioned. That'll be fine. Styles.module.sass knob. Position, absolute. Do I need to worry too much about height and width? I'll just leave it at default for now. Might need to make it, like, stick a max width on it if I'm going to be resizing those edge pieces, but we'll worry about that when we come to it. Import styles from /. This don't need CX anymore, so it's just styles.knob. Okay, there's my knob component. Just gonna do default export. Export default from /knob. And then in panel over here. Yeah, is there any reason that knob has to be its own component? I could just move this to be in the panel folder, but it's the same. It's the same effective thing. This is all buried within the Etch-A-Sketch component, so I'm not too worried about changing that folder structure up. I'll leave it for now. Hopefully you got some good swallowing sounds in there. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I won't do that again. I think if I was watching someone else and they did that, I would be disgusted and never come back. So the last thing, what was I gonna do? Actually stick the knob in here. So we're gonna stick the knob component in there. Stick it into each one of these. It's saying it's not a React component. I disagree. React node. I think that returns. Oh, yep. I'm great at TypeScript and just React in general. Return. There you go. There you go. Cool. Got the components laid out. Just need to actually set up these classes because that is not how that's supposed to look. Actually, why? All right, yeah. because this is still not resizing automatically. So bottom corner wrapper, I just need to make that a thing. Dot and position relative. What is not working there? This is position absolute. Inset 0. Hey. There we go. And it's over on both sides. And the sizing is completely wrong. Okay. So max height 100%. Max width 100%. Does that make sense? Oh, I see. It's filling vertically. And the bottom left piece is actually going up as far as like down here. So that's why it was stretching that like too high up. So instead of being inset 0, let's say I say, I'll say inset 0 and then customize it to be bottom or top unset. Okay. It's progress. It's progress. Yeah, I think having inset 0 is just kind of killing us. Top unset, bottom 10, left 10. Does that work? Pixels. Okay. Does that work for both of them? No, it doesn't. What if we make this 20? Aha, we will need different classes. I forgot about that. I was hoping that we could just apply one class to both of the knobs, but it's just fudging one of them off the page or vice versa. Okay. So which inset looked best in terms of the bottom? Probably that. Probably that. But at that point, I might as well just say, screw it. Bottom 15 pixels. Knob. And then I'll do one of these and left. Left is 15 pixels. And right is 15 pixels. Then I gotta actually use those classes. So it's gonna need to know. It's gonna need some props now. Knob props. Interface. Knob props equals side is either going to be left or right. We good? We good. Okay. So CX, no, import the one I want you to import, please. There you go, from LocalBoast. And now because of CX allows me to dynamically import via dynamically apply class names with an object spec depending on truthiness of the object values. What does that mean? It means I can say styles, that this gets styles dot knob left is there if props dot side equals left. That's one way I could go about it. I can actually, because of the way I've written this, I can even be a bit cheeky and say that this is going to use style name styles and then go knob underscore side. Does that work? Why does it not like this? Props.side. So now, does not like it. Does not like that. So that should be knob underscore left or right. And because I'm not actually giving that class anywhere. Oh, back to panel. Over here, side is left. Right, give it a string, please. Awesome. Cool. Now we've got our thingy. I don't know why that's there. There wasn't a scroll bar on that before. Why the hell is that there? Is my inset doing that? Height 100 VH, width 100 VH. Is that killing me? I'll figure that out later. I think there might just be like a border or something. It might even be to do with this responsive layout. No, it's still there with the responsive. That will really annoy me, that it's got this little bit of scroll. I will fix that. But that's for another day. So I think that inset makes sense. I'm gonna look at an Etch-A-Sketch. I'm gonna do this off screen, just in case Google shows something it shouldn't. Okay, so it seems that the knobs of an Etch-A-Sketch come in like vastly different sizes depending on which one you're using. But like this one, yeah, it seems the knobs in general stay within the bounds of the edges. So I need to make these a bit smaller. Knob. If I say that the left one has an inset right of 15 pixels as well, that's not going to work, right? It's going to break them. Surely. Yeah, okay. What if it's minus? Am I just throwing shit at a wall, seeing if it sticks now? Yeah. Just going to get rid of that. Padding. 10 pixels. Those make them a bit smaller. That works. Cool. Now I don't need as much of an inset. So if I switch that down to 1010, because these are mostly going to be decorative. I don't think there'll actually be any way to interact with these. They're just going to spin, just give some visual feedback. And probably don't need that much padding. Actually, no, that was better. Will I do even more padding? No. Let's stick with 10. And drop the inset slightly. Okay, I think I'm good with that. Now, the last thing I want to do before I take a quick break is make this middle piece be able to resize. I would love to be able to do that. So this div, just gonna say class name styles.child container. Let's put some styles on that. Child container. Crank up the music again, because we're going hardcore now. Review over here so that we can see if it actually starts working. Wait a minute, did that... What did I do? Why did that fix it? Okay. It's still a bit broken. Yeah, so here we go. Max width 100%, max height 100%, overflow scroll. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I'm actually going to get rid of overflow scroll because I think if we resize and there's a drawing on screen, it should just hide. It should just go off screen. Hidden. And then it's up to the elements themselves to make sure that they're resizing with a variable sized container. But yeah, I think I've done it. I think we've got it. It's so we can go so small that the edges don't even appear anymore. I wonder, is it a problem how big they are? Should I make, because it's a bit big. I don't know. I think people can just whatever they're doing, they can just resize the window. I might just leave it for now. Let's see. Yeah, so I think I just need to unwind a bit, maybe commit that, because this is I'm pretty happy with that as it's deliverable. As a page, it's really responsive. I love that. That was basically my goal for today, is to get that working. And if we actually get some SVGs drawing, even better. But let's see. Just committing this, putting a message in there. Etch-A-Sketch. Cool. So I don't think anyone's watching, but just for brief catch up of what we're actually doing here. LocalBoast, as well as being the name of this channel and the name that I'm representing myself by, it is my personal website, localboast.com, but much more than that, it is the open source React library that can currently be found by just npm installing localboast, or at GitHub. I think, does it come up if you search localboast? Give me 1 second to check that. LocalBoast. Have I linked it in enough places that Google actually knows what I am? No. My YouTube channel comes up though, so that's good. So I'm not, I might have picked something that's like unsearchable, because if you search localboast, it says, do you mean localhost? And of course it does. So yeah, hopefully that's, hopefully with a bit of SEO tweaks, a bit of boosted appearances on PageRank, hopefully we can actually get to the point where if you search localboast, it doesn't try to autocorrect it. I don't know if that's something that does actually happen in YouTube just by virtue of being more searchable, or if it's like there's an actual hard thing where it's like, no, they probably meant that other thing. We'll find that out. I don't know. Who's going to be Googling me? I imagine people, if they find localboast through Google, it'll much more likely be that they search for like a utility that's contained within the library. So like React middle truncate solution will hopefully through SEO, localboast / truncate will come up, that kind of thing. I don't think it's the end of the world if searching localboast doesn't bring up page results. Obviously, I wish it does. I hope it does. But yeah. Music's a bit intense now. So yeah, at the end of the last stream, basically I think I streamed for about 3 hours the other day to, as far as I was aware, no viewers, until at the very end I found out that there was a peak viewership of like 4 people and total distinct viewers of like 20, which is pretty cool. But the whole chat, I got through with no chat messages until the very end, and like just as I was signing off, the guy was just like, hey, what's going on? What are you working on? So ZX Matty will always be my my first. We always remember our first. Right. So I'm gonna refill my coffee cup, and then we'll come back and try to actually build some goddamn Etch-A-Sketch. And we're back. Hopefully I've unmuted. Yep. Cool. So I was just thinking about how, I guess, call it copium if you will. I think I'm just sort of in a nice position mentally, I guess, with this streaming, where obviously, according to the metrics right now, I've got 1 viewer. I think that's myself. If there is a viewer actually watching, please do let me know. Put it into any of the chat. But basically, what I was thinking about was how it doesn't really matter to me if I don't have viewers. It would be lovely. It would be great if I do. But ultimately, what I'm trying to get out of this isn't just... I'll switch to this camera. What I'm trying to get out of this isn't just that, oh, I stream and people spontaneously watch it, and that's how I make something of myself. Basically, ultimately, streaming is just an encouragement to get me to work on this actual library and also be recording it. I just realized I'm not recording. So hopefully there's a decent VOD of this available. I'm going to start recording now. But yeah, the plan with this is not that I will just spontaneously get a bunch of live viewers and that's going to be the end of it. That's the end goal. I'm doing this as step 1. Step 1 is the actual... Sorry, there was a spontaneous beep somewhere in my flat. This is working on this stuff is step 1. Actually having the library and having footage of me working on it. That's step 1. The next step, then I get to go off and actually turn this into YouTube videos. I'm going to edit these all down into, I built an Etch-A-Sketch bot for my chat video. That I think has a lot more likelihood of getting traction. I put up a couple YouTube videos over the last month or so, which have gotten such a surprising amount of attention, where like in the past, and even nowadays, I know that people will consistently put out videos, like really pumping out things for years, and they'll get 10, 20 views. And I don't know how they keep going with that. Whereas the 2 videos that I said I put out in the last month or so, first videos that I put on my channel for years, and the first one got like 500 or 600 views in a few days, which blew my mind, and it got such positive feedback. It really encouraged me and just really let me know that the algorithm will promote people spontaneously if they put up something good enough. And then I followed that up with another video where I really tried to make it as like algorithm friendly as possible. I tried to make as like tempting a thumbnail and premise and title, and I even wrote out like captions for it all. And I think all the algorithm chasing actually did work, because that video, instead of getting 500 or 600, it got, I think it's on like 1400. So for a channel that basically was more or less starting from scratch, to, you know, just upload a random video and it gets 1400 views, I was shocked how well that the algorithm served me there. So that's sort of the hope, the fallback, not even the fallback, that is the plan with this, is that I'm working on this library, streaming it here as a means of getting footage to turn into a YouTube video. Which is pretty nice and reassuring, because if I were doing this without that ultimate goal, the fact that there's no one watching, it would be a real killer. But no, I'm just using this as like practice. Just getting better at talking to the camera, using the mic, setting up all the OBS stuff, and then maybe in a few streams, some people will actually be watching. Maybe someday. I think I didn't even finish what I was really talking about. The step 2 being making the YouTube videos. From that, there might be more attention on the live streams. You know, someone watches and sees, oh, this guy not only built something that's cool, and I like the way he talks. Oh, he does it on a live stream, and he streams multiple times a week as he's working on this stuff. Maybe I'll check it out. So I guess it's sort of that sort of cyclical, everything piggybacking on each other system, where, you know, you're live streaming, you're making content out of the live streams, and that content drives attention to your live streams. I don't know if that's just Harris Heller's pipe dream, or if maybe it'll actually work. But ultimately, even if I get no attention from it all, even if none of this works, I get no followers, no views on YouTube, I've got the ultimate fallback of having built some just really cool React stuff. And if I need to get a proper job within the year, I can just point back and see, yeah, that year I took off. Look at all this amazing stuff I built. That's my plan. So it's nice to have that fallback. But I really hope to not have to use that fallback. But I really hope I don't have to use that fallback, please. Because if I can avoid ever having to get a real job again, and just do this, or some derivative of this, or the same thing without live streaming it, and I'm just working on it in my free time, putting it out there, and people appreciate that I'm working on it, that I'd just be so happy with that. So I've got the fallback, but I don't want to have to use it. Anyway, break over. I've got my coffee. Let's go back to the code, to the boring old typey scripty. So, before the break, we had just done this. So we previously had this middle bit, actual authentication of our chatbot. So I can join, and there it is. It's showing up. If I start typing into chat, where is it over here? Test. My message pops up into the chatbot that appears within this Etch-A-Sketch panel. So the goal here, now that I've got all this set up, we can make it look and feel nicer down the line. But first things first, the ultimate goal is to actually have this middle component, not just saying signed in as and joined and displaying the messages, but to turn these messages into actual user playing a game of Etch-A-Sketch. Is it a game? Do you play it? Probably not, right? Apologies. Dog is begging to go out, so I'm going to see if I can get Rosie to take her. because if not, I might need to take a not so brief dog break. Right. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about the previous steps, like this joining thing or the loading one. We can make them look however we want to make them look down the line. Right now, my attention is going to go to this middle piece where we're logged in and authenticated with a channel. And that, I believe, is called the play step. So let's go down there. So play step. So this is our actual... Rosie can't take the dog out because she has got a cat on her lap. It's adorable, but doesn't really help me. Okay. So I think it probably makes sense for these like clear leave channel logout things not to actually appear in the step component. I think it makes sense for them to be somewhere on the page, but I don't think they should be within this actual component. So I'm basically just gonna what will I call this? Fuck it. Debug panel. Debug panel props. So that can just sit there unused. Yeah, screw it. I'll even make it its own component. Debug panel.tsx. Don't update the imports because we want to make an actual play step. And I guess what we'll do is down here, if we're on the play step, active step equals step dot play, then we'll do the debug panel. So that way it'll hopefully render at the bottom of the page and still give us the options of logging out and stuff. And we can just worry about making it actually look nice down the line. So the play step is getting chats. And I think that should be all it needs. Yeah. Again, any additional controls can happen outside of it. Play step can just take chats. And that component doesn't even exist, does it? There it is. Const play step. Default play step. Props play step props, and make that actually a thing. Oh, where did that come from? I'll copy over whatever. Pesky dogs. Sorry. So yeah, we'll copy over this chats type definition. Now we got to think about actually building the component. So it's always going to render our SVG, I think. It's not going to do anything else. There's not like a win condition or anything. It's just a canvas that, like, not a HTML canvas, but it's just a thing. Switch over here to get some thinking. This middle piece, as soon as you have the channel and it's listening, there doesn't have to be like a go action, or we don't have to detect that, oh, you've finished. It's just always going. It's always listening to the channel. And if the error happens, whatever, the component will pull you out of that context. So this, the top level component, I mean, will control that. So this play step, we can make a bunch of assumptions like we are getting actual data. We are where we want to be. We don't need to worry about leaving. Someone else can control that. So it will just always be rendering an SVG. So I don't know to what extent we need to specify actual dimensions. It'd be great if we could just put an SVG and get it to fill the parent. I don't know that much about SVGs, so I don't know to what extent you need to specify, no, these are the bounds, this is the viewport. It needs to be these exact pixels. I also need to just look up just like how to define an SVG, just like a SVG template. So let's go on that little coding adventure. SVG template. Okay. Okay, so this looks pretty bare bones. Can pull a bunch of this out though. Oh, star. There. I'm gonna see if we can just have it not have a fixed width and height. Let's see. Width 100, height 100. It's probably fine, right? And we don't want any text. Don't want that. We're just going to have a path. Path. I know we want to give it the D attribute. We'll give it the D. Path D. And this can be... I guess we don't even need state for it, right? Because that'll be duplicating state. We can just derive the D every time we're given a chats, a value for chats. So let's just do that. Path D equals chats. If I memoize it, I don't know, is chats fixed value? I'm just going to check that. Let's test that, and if it doesn't work, let's assume that use memo is the problem. Just because this could be somewhat intensive. So use memo, and it's going to be props.chats. And let's return. So what is the definition? How do we define a path D? I think you need M at the start. Let's get up my own logo. Logo. So we got path D. So it starts with an M. Then you can draw a line to a new point. That's what we're going to be using. We're going to be doing lines. And at the end, after all the lines, you just end it with a Z. And it's got fill. So we don't want it to fill, right? We want it to stroke. And then we can change the stroke width to control how thick the line be. How thick it be. Cool. So what was it? M, end in a Z, and then for each one, oh, so we need the starting point. 0, 0. For now, it's 0, 0. Should have paid more attention to that. Yeah, so there's no comma or nothing, no pixel value. Cool. 0, 0. And then... Ooh. Okay, so we need to actually parse these messages and decide what to do with them here as well. We're not just sticking a string in. So, props dot chats dot map, and then I think I'll do a function here. Message to get. Okay, here's what my thinking process is. I want a function here that I can give it a chat message and have it work out the next coordinate. So I was just going to pass in the function into the map function. But for it to be able to tell us the next coordinate, it needs to know what the previous coordinate was. So that's something I'm going to have to track here. So let chords, current chords, 0, 0. And interpolate that in. Current chords, 0. Current chords, 1. And then, so here I can't just pass it the function directly. I'll need to get the message and then say, oh, I have way too many brackets here. Message, and then return call to a new function, get new coordinate from message. And I'll give it current chords, and I'll give it the message. So now we just need to, all we need to do is make this message. That's not all we need to do, actually. Const thing equals type chords equals string. Is that how things work? Why would I think it's a string? Number. No. You say number, because this is not the right declarator. Number 2, can I do that? If I say number, we good? Yeah. So current chords is of type chords. Current chords thing. And message is a string. And this has got to return us new chords. Return new chords. There we go. So we'll actually implement how that works in a second. But I just realized that once this function calls back, once this function gives us our coordinates, we need to turn that into a properly formatted string. Const new chords. Return L new chords 0. New chords 1. Cool. Okay. Seems good. Okay, instead of starting at 0, we'll start at current chords. So that's coming in as a number, an arbitrary number. Sorry, an array of an arbitrary number of numbers. We don't want that to be the typing. I don't think it's really important. Don't think it matters too much. But yeah, that's cleaner at least. Now it knows that there's only two numbers. So I'm just gonna message down equals message dot to lowercase. So what rules am I going to put on here? Obviously up, down, left, right. But does the entire message have to be that string and that string only? What if they say, you know, have a message that says up? Probably, I don't know, it's overly punitive if there's like a space at the end, or like if they say up please, you'd want that message to still count as up. So I could just say if it contains up, but then there's like, what if their message is, oh hey, I screwed up, I meant to tune in earlier? Then that counts. That's fine though, right? Because we're playing the game and you've set up. I think we'll just go with that. It's simply just, does it contain the word up? And that way, yeah, each message can contain each thing. I think that's fine. So you can say up, right. You can say up, right, left, and that'll just cancel out and just be an up. And that's up to the user if they want to do that. Yeah, so let's just do that. If message down dot contains, nope, includes, here's a substring of the result of converting this to a string. Cool. If message down includes up, new chords 1 plus equals, I should stick a multiplier on here, shouldn't I? Multiplier is number plus equals multiplier. That makes sense, right? Because each one message is multiplied 1 by the multiplier, but there's no point doing that, so it's just adding the multiplier. We don't need an else because we want any of these to be true. So just if it contains down, then we take away the multiplier. I probably got the axes wrong here. In my mind, it's starting at the bottom left corner and going up in that direction, but it might be starting at the top left corner. We'll figure that out. If message includes left, then new chords 0 minus equals. You know what? I'm going to flip this now because I think I do have that wrong. And if it includes right, the new chord 0 plus equals the multiplier. Nice. And I think play step can get the multiplier as a prop. Multiplier is a number. I won't make it optional for now. I think in my library I'm making everything optional if it's possible to be optional, giving default values to everything to be as easy to use as possible for anyone to adopt the library. But this is my website. These are ad hoc components written for pages on localboast.com. So I really don't care about having a nice API for them. So over here, is that where I need the multiplier? Multiplier, and that's just coming from props. Props.multiplier. Cool. And so Etch-A-Sketch. Oh, why do you still have an error? Oh. I am great at JavaScript, I swear. So here's play step. I don't know why that's not getting an error. Oh, is that not exported? Default as play step from play step. Play step. It's there. Do you need to... Yep. You just needed to get a little reminder. You just needed to check yourself. Okay, chats, and just the multiplier for now is 1. We can implement some big old scalar down the line when we've got controls nicely built into it. Basically, the idea with the multiplier is... Let's go over here. The idea with the multiplier is... I got the right pen selected. Okay. The idea with the multiplier is that depending on how many people are actually active in your chat, this thing will either be completely useless or, well, yeah, completely useless either way. If you've got like one person in your chat putting one message every 10 seconds, going up by like 1 pixel, it's going to take years to get anything from it, and it'll just be really boring for that one person. Meanwhile, if you've got 10,000 people in chat spamming messages, then the line will just be going all over the place, I think. So I do eventually want to put in a multiplier, just some sort of like scrollable selector or some just numeric input to be, depending on how many people you've got actually active, you can change the impact they have. So the idea being that, you know, if you've only got one person in chat, a single message from them. Need a new text layer. So yeah, to visualize that, if you've only got one person in your chat and they put out a message saying up, the line is there, it'll go, you know, up 1 pixel. That could not be seen on camera at all. So the line is down here, it says up, they go up 1 pixel, and then 10 seconds later they say up, it goes up 1 pixel, and then 10 seconds later they say up, it goes up 1 pixel. I think I've even gone big for how much of an impact they would have. It would take them ages to get any benefit. It's completely pointless if it's just 1-to-1 on a really small chat. But meanwhile, if you're, you know, a massive streamer with thousands of people just spamming chat, you need to put on like slow mode from time to time, because how just unusable chat is with all this stuff coming in. You kind of need to tone it down a bit, because if you've got, you know, if you start down here and then you turn the bot on and then suddenly everyone can write into chat, maybe this would actually be fun. We don't want to make sure that no one can use this mode, but we want to give the option to have all the spamming chat have less of an impact on the bot, because you know, I think it would actually be fun to run this bot on, like, say, Doug's chat. A lot of this is inspired by Doug with his Twitch chat bot playing like Mario Party. So maybe someday I'll just, like, on the sly stick my bot in and listen to his channel, see what design the chat makes. But yeah, I think it'd be nice to have some sort of mid-ground where a small chat can have a pretty decent impact. You know, someone says up and it goes up by like 20 pixels, and it says up And then they say up left, up, and they can actually, just like one or two people could actually draw something. But similarly, that say if you've got a massive chat, that you'd be able to scale it down, that each one message only has like 1/100th of a pixel of impact. And you could play around with it. I think one of my ideas that I'm having is that there'd be like sort of my beautiful artwork. You can't even see what that says. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that it would just sort of be like almost like a 3D, like, you know, one of those like rocker, like a wheel with all the numbers on it that you could scroll through. Something like that. It might be overkill. I might literally just go with having a text input with some numbers. But that's kind of where my mind's at with this. And for my own sake, for my own chat, where I get maybe 2 messages a day, I think being able to scale up the multiplier a lot will definitely be necessary. I haven't actually checked on the quality of the live stream in terms of the technical level. I know the quality of the live stream is shocking. It's awful. But of the actual content. But yeah. Okay. So it does seem to be broadcasting to all the sources. I have not turned on like health stats on OBS because I'm afraid to. Seems to be doing okay though. So yeah, let's go back to the code. Where are we at? Right, just added the multiplier in. Thing is, I have never watched Markiplier, but I still can't say the word multiplier without thinking like almost like I'm referencing him. It's weird. So the play step, is it ready to work? Got the multiplier going, completely untested, but let's see, current chords. Right, yeah, I need to update that. Shit. Current chords. Yeah, actually, I don't need new chords, right? This can just be current chords. Cool. And then this needs props.multiplier. Ooh. So the problem with this works, but the way this will do it, if you change the multiplier mid-game, it will retroactively change the design. And I don't know if we want that. I don't think we do. What would be a way? I'm trying to think of a way to be able to get around that. Way to get around that issue without duplicating state and needing a way to clear that local state. So what is the problem? We're getting the array of chats. And it's an ever-growing list of chats as a prop. And we're turning that chat into the path for the SVG to draw. And when the multiplier updates, it recalculates the whole thing. So we want the things to be calculated per message at the time of the message coming in, not all at once. I think it might need a local state instead of using memo every time it comes in. It just feels like a real anti-pattern to get an array of values as a prop and represent those values on the screen, but need to duplicate the values into state in some way. Times like this, I really wish I had a bunch of really intelligent programmers in my chat being able to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because I know like all of this could be fixed with local state. It just feels bad. Oh. Hey, Galen Kroger. You are the first YouTube chatter I've gotten so far. What's up? To catch you up, I don't know when you tuned in. Basically, I am working on an Etch-A-Sketch bot. Show you what I've got currently. Not supposed to be that wide. Basically, I've got this Etch-A-Sketch UI that wraps around this this really ugly stuff right now. But when I log in, the bot is listening to my Twitch chat, and in theory, if I start typing, like, I've completely untested this. I don't think it works at all. Yeah, it doesn't work. So if I put like up, down, left, right into Twitch chat, in theory, it would just start drawing a line as being like an idle thing. You know, you go on a bathroom break or something, and your chat can play Etch-A-Sketch. That's what I'm working on, and I'm mulling over some implementation ideas on the code side. Yeah, really happy to have you. Feel free to let me know how you find me, or I don't know if you have any interest. Oh yeah, you can see my chat's coming up there. It's just not having an effect. So this is kind of like a more technical stream. I don't know if you are a developer or actually seeking out programming stuff, but that's basically what this stream is looking at a code editor, watching me figure out some stuff. But yeah, I think I've been mulling it over too much, and it's even if it's not a great solution, I can rethink it down the line. So right now, I'm just gonna swap this out for some local state. So I had written this in a certain way, where the problem being that if this multiplier value changes, it completely updates the design down the line, and I basically just want to get this working. Screw it. I think I need to. I want to see, does this actually work before I overhaul anything. So if I give it a load of test data, so up here, instead of giving it the actual chats, where are we? Play step is over here. So instead of giving it actual chats, I'll say an array of up, 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 right. To be honest, I tried to mod one weapon on Diablo 2 and I almost pulled my hair out. Yeah. I even, like, after 5 or 6 years of programming experience, a while back I tried modding Skyrim and maybe even a few other things. And like Skyrim is one where they have like a full editing suite and bunch of tutorials of how to do it. And even that I found way too dense, way too awkward to like pick up someone else's code base, try to figure out the nuances of how they did it, and then try to work around that without knowing the full context of all of it. Modding is difficult in my experience. I think it's much easier to do what I'm doing and just start at absolute nothing and just build some shit, stick some shit on the screen and say, look what I did, rather than trying to adapt something someone else did. Because yeah, that's way harder. So fresh is best. Yeah, absolutely. And if people like it, you can take full credit for it. And since you're new here, I guess should also explain basically what LocalBoast is, this channel that I'm working under. I've been a software engineer for a few years. I recently quit my job to work full-time on open source software, just completely free stuff working on by myself. So I've got a GitHub page. Where is it? LocalBoast. So this is the main thing that I'm working on, is this thing called LocalBoast, and that's a React library. So basically meaning that if I build something cool, like for instance, a thing that allows a browser to read Twitch messages, that's something that it's just a cool, easy to use, or yeah, hard to build but easy to use thing. I've stuck that just into this LocalBoast library, and this is public. Anyone can use it. Anyone can see the code, and like this thing that I'm building with the Etch-A-Sketch is just a demo of how to use the utility that I've built. But as part of this, on my website, localboast.com, which doesn't really work right now, because it's basically just a dumping ground for all these hacky projects. It's basically, that website is basically going to be a showcase of different things that you can do with this React library that I'm building. And all these live streams are basically just documenting my process of building it, in the hopes that maybe someone will watch along and get some interest out of it, and maybe draw attention to the library itself. But yeah, so that's some context on what I'm working on. But yeah, back to actually getting the damn thing to work. So I was giving it some test messages of up, right, and one more up for good measure. And I'll give it a multiplier of 10, just in case it's not working for that reason, that it just wasn't drawing correctly. So the play step, it should be getting messages. It should be working this out. I wonder if it's actually working out the line correctly. Path D. Okay, so it is working out a line, starting at 0, 0, going to 0, minus 10, minus 20. The line is going off the page. I think that's what's happening. Do we actually have an SVG rendering? So it's 0 pixels wide. So that's probably the problem. I also haven't given it stroke. If I give it a stroke of solid 5 pixels black, that does not work. Stroke black. Stroke width 5 pixels. Okay, so it has size. It might just be completely obscured. Margin left 50 pixels, margin right 50 pixels. No. Yeah, it would really help if I knew the first thing about SVGs and how to actually render them. If I give it fill, basically I want to know that this path is actually showing on the screen before I actually try to figure out how to get it to show nicely. Yeah, blue. Okay, so it's still showing nothing. Is the SVG at all working? Background color, black. Okay, so the SVG is filling this container. That's good to know. So maybe it's just the path I've given it is just not a great test. Oh, goddamn, I put commas in here and that's ruining it. That would make sense. Hey, okay, so it was working. I just was putting commas in where it definitely shouldn't have been. Where was that? Okay, so it's for each line, it's adding the 2 coordinate values. And is it returning? Right, okay. So at this point, chats.map. So because I'm returning an array into a string, it was adding commas between them, which I don't want. So .map, after this call, I need to join these. .join empty string. Okay, I think that's an actual little line being drawn with our test data. Would making the square inside the Etch-A-Sketch different color do anything? I think that's probably what I was testing. Sorry, I missed your message there. Cool. So I think my multiplier probably needs to be higher to actually test any of this. But let's see which of the test data do I still need these things? So I still need stroke width, I still need all these values. Don't need these. Is this doing anything? Right. Okay, to be actually visible, it probably needs a pretty sizable stroke width. Stroke width, let's go with 10. And stroke black. So would this be working now? If I'd start giving it actual data instead of this test data. Let's see. Chats. So it's joined, and now I'm going to start spamming my own chat with messages. So down, down, down. Oh, goddamn, that's working. Right. Oh, okay, but it's not drawing a line. It's like filling an area. Okay, it's something though. Do I have any plans in the future to make a simple RPG type game? Probably not. So this Etch-A-Sketch I'm working on, I'm calling it a game, but it's really not. It's just a web piece out there to demo some fun tech, or some interesting tech anyway. I don't know how fun it is. I did work on game development in the past, just completely dabbling in my spare time, like figuring out Unity. Just, oh, anyone can download Unity, anyone can build a game. And I made a few like really crappy mobile apps back in a time when like Crossy Road was like everyone had that on their phones and they were making millions. That was my dream, is to make the next Crossy Road and live off that. I think I've sort of moved on from that since any time I've played with Unity recently. I say recently, it was like a few years ago. It was mainly to figure out just the interesting things you can do with the tech. So like I got a VR headset and I played around with making a virtual reality app in Unity, and mainly just fascinated with the fact that anyone can do that if they have the headset. Because, you know, Unity, at least at the time anyway, you could just get it for free and play around with it. So as like a main passion project, I don't think I would work on that kind of RPG. But maybe if it turned out to be a way to explore or showcase some cool tech I've built, maybe if like as part of this LocalBoast library, for whatever reason, I need to do like some way of storing data and manipulating things handily, and then I realized that, oh, a fun way to do that is with like tracking progress trees in an RPG. Maybe for that reason I would like then put like a really basic front end in to be like, hey, if you're building a web-based RPG, you can use this hook to make it easier. But even then, I think it would be the kind of thing that, like, similar to this Etch-A-Sketch, it's like I'll work on it a couple days as a proof of concept, get it out there, and let other people actually use it on their passion projects. But I don't know. I'm constantly changing what I want to work on from time to time. For a while, it was game development was all I cared about. So maybe I'll go back there. Yeah, for now I need to figure out how to actually draw a line. with an SVG, because right now I'm just drawing a shaded area. And that is not what I want. SVG, draw a line with a path. I suppose I could just say fill none, like fill transparent. That might be the way to go with it. Fill transparent. Okay. If I change the stroke back down to like 1 stroke width, was it? Stroke width 1. Okay. So this seems to be kind of working, but what's weird is it seems to fill more in some dimensions than others. That might just be the nature of staircasing with going like at a diagonal. Well, the reason I asked is because me and my brother made our own email-only game. I was wondering if you wanted me to send our game to you. Sure, feel free to send it. Might have a play around with it. That could be fun. What is my public email for you to use? LocalBoast@outlook.com, I think is where you can send that. Yeah, I couldn't get localboast@gmail.com. LocalBoast@outlook.com. Yeah, if you want to send it on there. Sorry, I just assumed email because you said, what is it, email only game. However you want to send it. That could be fun to play around with. So, what is an email-only game? I'm trying to think about that. I don't know. Okay. While I'm waiting for you to get back to me, I'll keep going with this and see if I can figure out how to not finish off that line. SVG unclosed path. I could be going about this completely wrong. I wonder if I just don't close it off at the end. It might, like, break the syntax. But let's see. If I just don't have the Z piece. Oh yeah, goddamn, that actually works. So, typo, right, down, right. It's actually working. Pretty happy with that. Apologies if you can hear dog barking noises. Cool. So I just need to put that fill and stroke width on there. Fill is transparent. Stroke width, I think 2 is probably fine. Maybe 3. 2. Let's stick with 2. I think that's truer to the original thing. So now I'm obsessing about, with the diagonal, I'm going down 1 and across 1. But that is technically moving further distance than should be allowed. So I wonder if I should clamp that. That's something I can worry about down the line. I'll make note of that. somewhere else. But yeah, I think I might be somewhat done with this. Where like obviously I need to improve the UI and actually add back buttons and go to different channels. But I multiple times today have expected this to take longer, getting this nice resizable piece working, and even just the drawing of the SVG. Oh, email sent. Awesome. I see it's virus free. See that in the email. Awesome. Well, I'm actually considering ending the stream pretty much now. But I think after I do, I might have a look at that and play around with it. Maybe I'll have a look at it on stream next time, if you have any interest. If you want to like subscribe, maybe you'll see a notification if next time I do it. But yeah, that could be really interesting. I still have no idea what an email-only game even is, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah. Thanks for watching anyway. I think on my last stream I got a single... Oh, just saw your sub came in. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. You actually have several more things to send. Sure. Send away. I'll take a look. Hopefully I get around to it. Yeah, feel free to send whatever you want to that email. And a lot of it might just completely go over my head, because while I claim to know a lot about web development, there's all other areas of development I'm very unfamiliar. But am I British? No, I'm Irish. I live in England, but yeah, this is what I'm calling an Irish accent anyway. Where are you from? I'm named Galen, if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't actually have a guess as what country that's from. You heard a British twang. Well, I suppose I have been living here like 2 years, so it's possible I've got it. Rosie, do you think I have a British twang to my voice? I'm really not. Oh, you're from America. Oh, Galen's Irish. That's cool. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I know any Galens. Or if it's like... I know very little of the Irish language, but I'm trying to think, like, does it remind me of any words? But it's not reminding me of the words like hello, thank you. That's about the extent of my knowledge of the Irish language. Yeah. Gaelic. Yeah, it's quite similar to just like... Gaelga, which is Irish for Irish. Yeah. Cool. Well, I can feel myself rambling. I think I am gonna head off. Thank you again so much for watching. My last stream, I got one person on Twitch chat actually chimed in. This time around, I've got one person on YouTube chat. So really nice to know that there's a reason to stream to both, because might actually manage to get some attention. Kroger is from what country? Okay, but before I drop off, I was going to say I'll make a guess as to what country it's from, but I'm not sure. Genuinely might be throwing a dart at a map. Okay, Rosie, my girlfriend, is guessing Wales. I don't know if that's my guess though. I know like Kroger is a brand of... Oh. Just seeing a notification come in. Okay, that was a really delayed notification from YouTube, but it finally came through. I'll just say like Germany. I don't know. It feels kind of German. But yeah, I know Kroger is like a brand of shops in America, I think. Kroger. Bingo. Is it German? Awesome. Cool. Yeah, anyway, I keep delaying. I will try to have a look at those things you sent me on the email. And yeah, hopefully I see you again. Might be looking at your stuff. I don't know, maybe if it'll just be fun enough by itself, or I'll tear apart the code. Just I'll point out everything you did wrong with it. Right. See ya. Thanks for watching. Thanks.